Damn, Perk did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Mention another thing that you have mentioned, you said that like you gave that you give some advice to some of your friends, right? And so how did that like start to come about? So kind of walk me through where like you got out of your comfort zone, you got comfortable, then got confident, and then due to the fact that you got confident, that you were able to actually give your friends advice. So kind of walk me through that piece if you don't mind.
So, like I said, I was in a fraternity in college where you had to like be exposed, kind of going to socials, partying with a lot of women, right? And in these like parties, guys would just be drinking, right? And then there'd just be like looking like complete idiots. And don't get me wrong, I used to like party a lot. I did drink back then a lot, but it was like I remember it was like one event, I was like a DD at a social, which is like you don't drink at all. And then I remember that social, that party, right? It was like all these people that like in the fraternity, they were just like they were plastered, they were gone out of their minds. And some of the girls were just like these guys are wild. So then, me being sober, I was like, okay, well, like somebody has to like talk to these girls. Like if my fraternity brothers are acting drunk, like drunk idiots, right? Like these girls are gonna get creeped out. So at that moment, I think I realized like, okay, like I have to step up and really get out of my comfort zone, without any alcohol, like without the use of, drinking or anything like that. So it was really like I went out and I kind of just pushed myself in that moment to talk to girls. And then it was like really, really like at first it wasn't very smooth conversation, but as the night kind of went on, I got more comfortable and like kind of in my element. And then just socializing, man, just socializing with girls. And after that night, I thought to myself, I'm like, wait a second, like why do people drink? Like is really like, do you really need this substance? Like, why aren't people just more confident, And I think ever since that moment, like as I went on through college, it's like I don't need alcohol. It's like I can talk to girls sober, right? Which I'll be honest, I feel like half the men, like 80% of the guys, when they go out to bars, they need alcohol to talk to women. It's really sad, but I think just learning at a younger age just to be confident, and then just after college, right? Just going to the bars, it was like I never really drank, but I still was able to put myself out there because I'll always remember the moment when, that moment when I just had to push myself, when it was really just me and like everybody else around me was drunk, but there's like a ton of girls. And then I was like, at the time I didn't realize it, but now I realize now I realize it. I'm like, dang, like I could really I could have really boosted my practice. I could have really gotten some good practice in boosting my social skills in that moment. But it's kind of just repetitiveness, I think, and then just like going out like in your younger 20s and just going like on the sober route, going out to bars, just talking to girls and really just putting yourself out there and just realize it all comes through repetition, right? When you talk to girls, when you talk to strangers, you're gonna be nervous. I mean, I'm always nervous, like when I go up to a girl, it's just human nature. You'd be lying if you say you're always 100% confident. But I think when you do push yourself out there, and you, at the end of the day, it's just human to human interaction. It's just basic psychology. And when you just put yourself out there, man, and you just have like these conversations with girls, you realize like, you could really talk about anything. A lot of guys, they just overthink stuff, but I don't want to get too off topic, but it was really what got me more confident was, towards like that end of college when I was putting myself out there. And then just those years after college when I was going out with friends and going into the bars more so on the sober side. And then, I got like that experience of night game. I'm a lot older now. I don't go out to the bars that much these days at all, but I think just through like repetition, that's what really got me like out of my comfort zone. It was like purposely like forcing myself. It's like, okay, I'm not going to drink, but I'm just going to go out, I'm not going to sit there at the bar bored as hell. Right. So what else am I like, what the hell else am I going to do? I'm gonna go talk to like other girls around me. I'm gonna go have great conversations with other girls around me. I'm not sitting here bored while like all my other friends are jumping up and down drunk. You know, I'm here to might as well socialize, might as well work on my dating life, might as well like maybe not work on my dating life, but might as well get connects, right? And might as well just put myself out there because it's like, you know, I'm here. It's like I think just being exposed to those environments when I was like a younger guy at like a very early age, and just being, you know, going to those environments sober and just realizing like it's just basic human to human interaction and built through like repetition. That's really what kind of got me out of my comfort zone. And you know, it's crazy. A lot of guys like don't have confidence, man. And it's just like for me, it's like I kind of broke through that shell around like 25. It was like I reached a point where it's like, no, I'm not saying like I'm the most confident dude, and I'm not saying I don't get rejected. I still, no, I get rejected a bunch of times. It's just part of life. But you know, it's just through repetition, you know, you got to break free. And I think when you hit a moment in your life where you're like, you have to change, you have to do something to like, you know, take your life or even just take your dating life to the next level, you realize that like, you know, guys just, they overthink stuff. You know, you just got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I think one of the things that I really liked what you said was that even though like you were still nervous, you actually put yourself out there, right? And so
Because I think
um,
in those moments when like you're nervous, right? That's
yeah,
when you are honestly the most effective, because that's when the adrenaline starts hitting. It's like, and you feel like absolute shit, you know? Like there have been times when I was nervous and I didn't
mhm.
approach the girl, and later on I'm like beating myself up. I'm like, damn, like I feel like a pussy. Like, but I don't know if I can say that, my bad, but
You already
yeah,
did it. We all
yeah,
good. We all good. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I completely get that, right? And but I do like the fact that you mentioned like even though like you still had enough confidence to do it, you were still nervous. And I think that like a lot of guys, and also what you had mentioned too was that a lot of guys psych themselves out, right? Because like they're in
Yeah.
their head, they're overthinking it.